Hey everyone, welcome to Catalyst Energies. My name is Dee. Thank you for joining me. I'm so grateful that you're here for this daily astrology report. It is for Wednesday, November 25th, 2020, and the moon is still transiting Aries. She'll be in Aries again all day today, meeting with Mars in Aries, and Mercury and Venus, both in Scorpio, are going to both be making quincunxes or in conjunct angles to, well, Mercury to the North Node, which is in Gemini, and then Venus to Chiron, which is in Aries. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity for adjustment today, specifically when it comes to the aspects of our individual potential, who we are, how we see ourselves in the world, how we present ourselves to the world, our ego consciousness, that is the Aries aspect, and then Gemini is the individual consciousness coming online, the way our nervous system works, how we learn, what the language is that we use, how do we interact with information, how we communicate with each other. It is about sensory and perception, but very much still about the individual consciousness. But when we get to Scorpio, this is there's no longer able to separate ourselves from other in terms of what we're talking about. It is about the shared experience. It is about the power dynamics within relationships. It is about the intimacy that is part of any successful partnership and the responsibility that goes along with it. Scorpio is the realm of the shadow. It is the subconscious. It is the darkness. It is that which we do not often see, which is the depth of feeling of these relationships. And it is impossible to separate ourselves from other in the Scorpio realm. It is all about the central point of these relationships coming together and what that feels like, and the intimacy that is involved. There's camaraderie, there is depth of feeling. So there's going to be a lot of chances today, I would say, with these quincunxes to make adjustments between how we think about this, the information that we're receiving when it comes to Scorpio, the hidden realm, what's going on in the shadows, what is going on within the relationships themselves. Scorpio, there's an intensity there. There's a strong yearning, and that will become very highlighted with Venus, because Venus is about what we love, what we value, who we value, what is comfortable around us in our environment. And there is a strong yearning to merge with others in Scorpio, and there is responsibility that comes along with that. And so, and strength, right? And communion and faith, right? When you start getting into late Scorpio, there is faith that is gathered and gained as a result of our experiences with each other. Look at what we can build that's so much greater than each individual component. The cooperation that is part of Scorpio allows us to see how potent and powerful we can really be together. So are we, what kind of information we engage with, what kind of information we are presented, what we think about these realms, and then with Venus, what we love, especially with our relationships, and what is valuable to us and how that feels as well, and what the consequences are of shared relationships and shared resources, how, what's valuable, and bringing a lot of warmth and feeling to those relationships, those shared resources. These aspects are going to be highlighted as they are not fitting very well with the individual consciousness that is not only emerging, but is also trying to find its homeostasis. For every idea, there is an antithesis. And sometimes there is a violent outburst in order to balance that out. And then with Aries, it's just the potency and desire to actualize ourselves. And with Mars in the mix, with the moon, that is going to be very strong today. So Venus in that quincunx to Chiron, Chiron in Aries, we really want to, there's a really strong urge to actualize ourselves, to identify ourselves with our wounding and our victim role, our savior role that Chiron represents. And Venus is much more interested in the shared relationship, the depth of experience with other, and doing whatever she can to get to a place that's valuable with that, which doesn't fit at all with Chiron. That is like, no, my wound, my role is the victim or the savior. So there's that adjustment right there. And then Mercury, we are going to be continuing to be exposed to information in the underworld, in the subconscious, in the shadow realm, that we are now lifting back up to the surface. And that's what the sun had been doing all through Scorpio season, and is now in Sagittarius, and applying that to the full expression of who we are. But in the meantime, Mercury now, the realm of our mind and our processing unit of our mind, is also engaging with this shadow information. And it is about, there comes a point when the relationship with those that we have shared real experiences with, and the bonds that we've created, are more valuable and more important to us than authoritarian dictates, right? Authoritarian mandates. And we are going to be in a position where we have to ask ourselves, are we going to obey those orders, or are we going to value we're going to resist those orders and value the relationship, and value the potency and the power of the experiences that we've shared together, as opposed to continuing to feed into, although we are headed this, Gemini is where we are headed in order to evolve. But that absolutely necessitates that there are two distinct positions, and that one position or another is going to have an outburst in order to make itself known. That is certainly where we are being pulled to. That is leading to our evolution, to understand this bifurcation. But we're really going to think about this today. Are we going to keep following those orders, or are we going to resist them? Because the bonds that we share with each other through the experience of, this right here, this Gemini, is much stronger than the outside rules. So there's going to be a lot of questions to ask today. There's going to be a lot of consideration, taking a step back. And with the moon meeting Mars here, usually this is really acting from a really strong burst of emotion about ourselves. But this particular degree is, like I had said earlier, about inner poise, taking a natural lack of potency and turning it inward, and gaining a sense of inner security and poise, instead of acting out. And this is, I think, going to give us a moment of pause, right? Where we can kind of sit back and reflect, and turn that energy inward, in order to gain that security within us, instead of looking for it outside of us. And that's going to really complement a lot of what's going on with these quincunxes today. So the moon will be in Aries all day, like I said, and it is a good time to kind of sit back and ask some questions. Be aware of what's happening around you. Really engage with the information. Don't be afraid to look at the stuff that is often underneath the surface. We're getting into the last decan of Scorpio now, which is actually ruled by Venus in the tarot, which is the Seven of Cups. So there's so many options here, and we have discovered so much at this point. So are we going to continue down the same path, listening to the authority outside of us, or are we going to resist that and put our value and our energy into those bonds which actually bring us together? So these are important questions for today. So that's the daily for the 25th of November, 2020. And if you are interested in a reading, connecting on social media, everything is in the description box below. You can find the website at catalystenergies.net if you're interested in booking any kind of service. And yeah, if you like this information, please consider subscribing to the channel, definitely hitting the like button. It helps the algorithm get this information out to everybody. So I'll see you guys. I'll be making a video for Thanksgiving and throughout the week, just to kind of cover everything going up to the lunar eclipse, which is going to be on Monday, the 30th. And we still have a lot of stuff happening between now and then. So I want to be able to cover it for you guys. So I'll see you on the next video.